Earthdamar, a substance that can bring duel monsters to life if your duel disc is soaked in it. But now it apparently can bring people back from their captivity inside a clothing item if you boil it for 33 minutes and then wait for the magic to happen. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today we're talking all things episode 24 of the Yugioh Go Rush anime series. An episode that felt a little bit slice of life-like, but also it showcased the connections and bonds that Yugioh has created throughout the series so far. I say this because once again we see Manabu helping out UTS. Now of course we've seen him do so many times before, so what's different about this time? Well, this time he takes a massive action in taking a confiscated item from MIK in order to try and help revive Yugioh. Now of course this action is big because if someone catches him taking from the confiscated section of MIK, especially if they're the higher ups of MIK, it could land him in a heap of trouble. Plus he now has to return that broken air pump that he borrowed and explain how it broke. Somehow I don't think saying sorry, this famous actress's dog, which is also an alien, transformed and punched it because it was pumping too slowly, is really going to cut it. I do hope somewhere within the series we see a higher up official make a list of all the things that Manabu has done to help UTS, which is their rival company in kind of finding and helping aliens, and then kind of goes after Manabu a little bit and saying, look, we can't trust you because you've been helping out the competition all this time. We've been watching you, Manabu, and I don't think you're cut out for MIK. You know, if that happens, that would be awesome. And it would kind of show a bit of consequence for Manabu to be helping our heroes. Next up, let's talk about Yuhi, because once again, this episode was highlighting the connections between himself and Yugioh. This was done in a way by showing Yuhi's determination to help save and bring back Yugioh. We saw a lot of weird, crazy and wacky ideas that just seemed illogical and super ridiculous. But at the same time, it did showcase a desperation, which can obviously be linked to a desire to help someone. Yuhi was so badly wanting to help Yugioh and bring Yugioh back. He was trying all these silly, crazy, wacky, non-logical ideas that he just wanted to do anything he possibly could to help. And you kind of have to applaud him for that. I will say though, it was brilliant despite the fact that none of the efforts that Yuhi actually did to try and help Yugioh come back, it was something directly linked to Yuhi that helped Yugioh return. And that is Earthdamar. But I am also glad that they mentioned how Yugioh doesn't remember anything when he was a t-shirt, except a very faint warning from Zwijo. Because could you imagine if t-shirt Yugioh actually was able to experience the pain and memory of being boiled, being planted, being hit with sticks to dust out the dust, or even just chucked in a washing machine. Like, poor Yugioh. But thankfully, he doesn't remember all that. He never felt that pain. So, thumbs up, all good around. So, this episode did do a great job of showcasing the connections between Yuhi, Manabu, and Yugioh, while also using the characters like Manya, Bunchi, and Yuamu as a bit of comedic relief. It was also great seeing Asaka in this episode as well, because from her perspective in giving us more information about the Mutsuba company and how it's a recycling company which turns old stuff into new stuff that people can reuse, I thought was great. Plus, although we didn't see any employees around, those job perks sound amazing. You get a raise once a year and you get a job for life. Sign me up now. So, Manya, Yugioh, Manabu, Yuhi, Yuamu, the dog, the cat, Asaka, the rest of UTS. Those were all the characters that appeared in this episode, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I am mistaken, we saw the purple-haired girl at the food stand, that's correct. But that was everyone. Of course I'm joking, we saw Zwijo and we saw Misoto. Misoto? Flatwood. We saw those two characters reappear into the story, and it was so good seeing these characters once again. We actually didn't get to see Zwijo with a Yugioh blanket curled up on his throne, which is a bit of a disappointing letdown, but at the same time, what we did learn was the fact is that Misoto was acting as one of the Rovian bandits. So, her being one of the underlings, she now knows their plans and their actions moving forward, which makes sense because we saw Zwijo faintly give a warning to Yugioh before they returned his t-shirt form back to UTS. And of course, the next episode preview does also show that UTS is looking like it's getting invaded. So with that in mind, it looks like Rovian isn't messing around. After all, UTS did originally challenge her and lose. Then they snuck back into a castle to steal back Yugioh, after tricking Menjuburo. She looks like she's lost her patience, and of course has decided to take the battle to UTS on their own home turf. Full of confidence, full of determination. Now, could she be possibly thinking that now is the right time to expand her empire and not only control the underground alien facility, but also try and take over Mutsuba town? If she is thinking that, then maybe, just maybe, we might see Asaka entering the dueling battle. I think it'd be so much fun seeing Asaka appear and dueling finally within the series. And who knows, because we learned that the Mutsuba company is like this recycling corporation now, maybe she's using a recycling themed deck. That would be pretty cool. As a side note, returning to Zwijo, the fact that he helped Yugioh once again shows that he does in fact care for his former Vulgarian comrade. And who knows, maybe this is like a I scratch your back, you scratch my back situation. Because Zwijo did this favour for Yugioh in the future, he's going to say to Yugioh, look, you remember I brought you back from your t-shirt form, you owe me one. Anyways, with this episode using a recap flashback a few times to help further showcase the bond between characters, I thought that was a good way of using the recaps. I thought that was quite smart. It also showcased characters' feelings and personality towards Yugioh. Obviously, when they thought they lost him, they cried, and you couldn't blame them for doing so. It added in comedy as an element to the episode, giving it that slice of life feeling. So, yeah, I thought this episode was really fun, despite the fact we didn't have a single duel. But those were just my thoughts on this episode. What did you think of this episode in the comments down below? Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. Like always, hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, hit that like button, comment your thoughts, and of course, subscribe so you never miss a video from myself. Have a great day. Alligator, Matt Goodbye.